fortunate, or do you feel like you're called or have a calling or gift or some kind, or what?
Yes, I actually, on this very strange journey that I've been on, I've come to believe that whatever it is that I'm going through and these abilities or whatever you want to call it to film these things, it's something that I've been involved in unconsciously all of my life, I believe. So I think that there's no accident that this has happened to me. There's just too many strange things that would otherwise be called coincidences that line up to form my opinion that, yeah, definitely this is supposed to happen to me. And if you want to call it a calling, I would go with that as a term. Yeah, calling would be a good thing to call it.
Would synchronicity be a better term?
Synchronicity?
Yeah.
There's definitely synchronicity clearly visible on the films. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you go through the website and look at the films, you can see it. You would think if I hadn't said this to you that I haven't seen the UFOs and that I've filmed them unbeknownst even to myself while I was doing it, you would think when you're watching them that whoever was filming was doing it on purpose, because these are just unbelievable. You're zooming right in on things, and then it happens after the fact. Being in the right place at the right time, all the time.
Isn't it
coincidence?
Yeah, isn't it crazy that the goofiest UFO pictures out there? I mean, you can obviously see some things hanging from a wire, like I mentioned facetiously, the hubcap. You've seen those kinds of UFO pictures. So those are discounted, and then. Your videos, obviously, as you say, look like they are choreographed and corresponding to your zoom and things. That almost goes to the other end of the spectrum, but also would land you into a dubious situation, as far as saying that's real, because as you're saying, you're actually saying a disclaimer. Look, they were there just as I was zooming in, and that's just so if they look good, what can I say? That's kind of an unusual claim right there, because most videos are sort of off focus, and then you see the camera persons try to jerkily zoom in and get the camera to aim in the right direction.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you on that. When you really look at the website. There's a lot of things on there, things that are happening to me personally that are very paranormal. I have 3 separate photographs now. This is something that's more recent that's been happening to me. Let me just start at the beginning here with this story. I received some help from a person who's become a really good friend of mine now, Tony Jackson with freedomvideo.org. And upon getting to know him a little bit, he had sent me a photograph of his staff there, and so to reciprocate, I took a photo of myself real quick, actually 4 shots, went through the 4 shots, just quickly picked out the one I liked the best and sent it to him. That is actually in an article on his website now at freedomvideo.org, explaining the details of what happened. When you zoom in on this picture, in my left pupil, there is a very prominent number 7. I don't know how crazy that sounds, but it's there. And the article itself kind of explains, what I believe all that's about, what happened. Since that happened, I've taken 2 other photographs that are also on my site on the Big Brother page under the links Worlds. There's 2 photographs there of myself, which I took on my cell phone at work on the ship. And in both of those photographs, once again, my irises shift into the number 7, which, once again, I will admit that sounds pretty strange, but that's what's going on, that type of paranormal activity. Aside from that, I'm talking outside of the UFO videos, aside from that, that I can offer for proof to people that this paranormal activity is really happening to me, is the Big Brother page itself. When I typed up a text for the Big Brother page, I just basically made a statement how I felt about things, and it was an open letter to the government or Big Brother, whatever you want to call it. And lo and behold, on the 28th of May, 2007, I went and updated the site a little bit, and one of the things I did was to change the margins on the Big Brother page. And when I did that, I discovered something very odd. And the links that are on there right now on the Big Brother page all line up, and if you connect them, there's actually encoded or encrypted text sentences inside of that connect to these links, and my belief is that the page itself is paranormal. If you look at it and study the page, I'm sure people will pick up on that right away. It's just the page itself, the text is just as, to me, is just as paranormal as any of the videos I've shot.
So you're suggesting that the text and on a website is paranormal?
Absolutely, yeah. It goes beyond what I believe anything a person could do on purpose. If you connect the links and read along those lines, there's encrypted text to the tune of about 20 different sentences. And when you connect the links and divide paragraphs and only read on one side of that connection, the paragraph still reads like a normal paragraph would, but the meaning changes. And it's just really strange. It's very strange. People have to take a look at it, make their own minds up what they think about it. But to me, it's extremely paranormal, yes.
Okay. John, you said that your life is sort of emblematic of paranormal activity. Did you, in your early days, say, consult tarot reading or Ouija boards or any sort of thing like that?
No, not too much, really. I've had experiences with that. I've had, pretty sure just about every American can say that they've had an experience with a Ouija board. Just about everybody's tried it. Never really got into anything like that, though. I had a friend when I was growing up whose sister did the tarot cards, and I did have my cards done a couple of times and was kind of amazed. It was more of a novelty than anything to me. I was never involved in anything like that. I was just basically, before all this happened to me, I was just another Joe, a working guy, not involved, not highly involved with religion or any cults or anything like that. No, just and also surprisingly not involved in UFOs. I had an open mind to it. Had the time and the money to go out there and check it out for myself, but definitely not overzealous about it or thinking that had no idea that anything like this would ever happen to me.
John Mitchell, we had a guest on here about a year and a half ago with an incredible story. Her name was Hannah Billups, and she said that she was abducted by men in black and taken to an underground base, and there she saw aliens and military people and had humans and children locked up and were trying to do experiments upon them. Do you get stories like that from in your walk and the people that you meet of abductions and underground bases with alien presence there?
Yeah, I've read a lot of stories like that. And there's one person in particular, right after this happened to me, let me just say I went through the whole gamut on this. When I got home from Area 51 and found my first UFO, I was running around my apartment like a little kid, just happy as could be, and just couldn't believe it. And then I just kept finding one after another after another. And, so on that, I've been from that scale all the way to just terrified at what happened to me, the whole gamut. And my impression is, my belief is that there's some very, very dark things happening. And Area 51 is a very, very dark place. And I would not discount anybody's story that they've said they've had some type of other than positive encounter with these things. I would be inclined
other than positive, I would say that if someone had a nasal implant or a fetus removed, it goes way further than just other than positive there.
Right.
But hey, we've got this question for you. Have you had any bad effects after being near these objects? Anything like your car breakdown, nausea, headaches?
Yeah. We haven't gotten that far yet, but later on in that day, after I filmed up there on Coyote Summit, I went out to what would be my campsite that night to film some more. I filmed about another half a dozen, 8 UFOs or so during the daytime. Night fell. All of this is on my summary page on my website. Got inside the truck and continued to shoot film. My whole policy while I was out there was just to shoot one tape after another until it was run out and continue on. For some reason, I don't know why, I paused the camera with about 30 minutes of tape left, so it's about halfway through. And when I turned it back on, I filmed 2 UFOs, which are also on the website, leaving my campsite at nighttime. And out of just a little bit over 3 dozen UFOs. Out of all of those daytime ones, the ones from my campsite at nighttime are the only 2 nighttime UFOs that I filmed. Yeah. But I believe I have every reason to believe that I received an implant during that missing time period that evening.